Welcome back. In this lesson, we're still talking about arithmetic series. However, this time we're going to be missing a different thing. This time we're going to investigate what do we do when we're missing an. Now, the cool thing is it's actually exactly the same as we did in the previous notes. Whenever you're missing something, remember your go-to spot is your explicit formula to find whatever you're missing, and then you can use all of that to plug into your summation formula. So this time, let's take a look. To use my summation formula, I need three things. Well, this time I know my n. I'm going to have 15 terms. I know my first term, but I don't know my last term. This time, that's what's not given. So that means I'm going to need my explicit formula. Well, to use my explicit formula, I need to know what I'm adding every time. So if I look between my terms, I think it's pretty easy to see that I'm adding 9 every time. So let's use my explicit formula to find that future term. So this time, I need my future term. I know my first term. I know my n. And I know my d. So in this case, it's actually just a matter of plugging all of that into the calculator. So 2 plus 15 minus 1 times 9. So if you plug it in exactly as is, you should get that your last term is 128. Okay, so again, go to the explicit formula whenever you're missing a piece of information to get that missing number. And now that I have that, now I can use my summation formula. N divided by 2. Then add my two terms. Well, 15 divided by 2 is 7.5 times 130. Well, 7.5 times 130 is going to give me 975. So again, not too different. Same steps, just plugging in different things. So let's try this one more time. All right. So to use my summation formula, I need three things. I know my n is 13. My first term is 4. I don't know my last term. I don't know the future term. So I'm going to use my explicit formula to find it. Well, before I can use my explicit formula, I need to look to see what am I adding by every time. And hopefully you can see you're adding 10 every time. So I'm going to plug all of that into my explicit formula. I don't know my future term, but I know my first term. I know my n, and I know my d. So that can just be plugged straight into the calculator. Now this time I'll show you how to do that, okay? So 4 plus 13 minus 1 times 10. Oh, I want parentheses completely around the 10. So if you type it in just like that, just as I had it written on the board and as you see it now, press enter and it'll give you that future term just like that. So my future term is 124. And now that I know that, now I have everything I need that I can go and plug this into my summation formula. 13 over 2 and divided by 2, I add my two terms. So I get 6.5 times 128. Type that into my calculator. 6.5 times 128. That's going to leave me 832 as my sum. All right, so as always, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you have all this written down and come and ask if you have any questions.